You're sitting in a coffee shop, staring at a $7 latte, wondering if you should have just made coffee at home. Ever feel that pinch? That in your head saying, I can't afford to live big yet. What if I told you that acting like a millionaire doesn't need $1 million? It starts with a single choice you can make right now. Raise your hand if you've ever dreamed of a life where money isn't a cage. Come on, don't be shy. Let me see those hands. That's it. That dream? It's not crazy. It's your brain begging you to step up and act as if you're already there. Let's get real for a second. Most people stay stuck because they believe a lie. I'll act successful when I feel successful. Or worse, I need the bank account first. That's a trap. It's like waiting to get fit before you hit the gym. It's backward, and it keeps you small. Think about it. Why do you hesitate to walk into a fancy store or to pitch that big idea? It's not your wallet holding you back. It's the story you're telling yourself. I want you to picture someone who changed that story. Let's call her Sarah. She was a barista, scraping by, feeling like she didn't belong in rooms with successful people. One day she decided to act differently. She started dressing a bit sharper, not Gucci, just intentional. She showed up to networking events, nervous but there, asking questions like she deserved to be heard. Within a year, she landed a marketing job that doubled her income. Why? Because she acted like she was worth it before she had proof. Your brain is wired to follow your actions, not your feelings. Scientists call this neuroplasticity. Fancy word, simple truth. Do the thing, and your mind catches up. If you walk taller, your brain says, oh, we're confident now. If you make bold choices, it rewires to think, I'm capable. Sarah didn't wait for $1 million to act like a millionaire. She started where she was. And you can too. Right now, your brain doesn't care about your bank balance. It's listening to what you do. So why are you letting a number dictate your worth? Here's the deal. Acting as if isn't about pretending or blowing cash you don't have. It's about carrying yourself like you know where you're going. Millionaires don't slump through life apologizing for existing. They own their space. They think bigger than their current reality. Contrast that with most people waiting for a raise, a lucky break, or some magical moment when they'll feel ready. Spoiler, that moment never comes. Acting as if is like dressing for the job you want, not the one you're stuck in. It's showing up to your life like you're already the main character, not an extra. Let me ask you something. Raise your hand again if you've ever felt like you're not enough yet, not rich enough, smart enough, connected enough. Look around, see how many hands are up. You're not alone. But here's the truth. That feeling is just a habit, and habits, you can break them. Millionaires aren't born, they're made through choices. They decide they're worth betting on. So let's do this together. Close your eyes for a second. Trust me, it's quick. Picture one area of your life. Maybe it's your career, your finances, your health. Now ask yourself, how would a millionaire show up here? Would they hit snooze 3 times? Would they say someday and scroll their life away? Or would they make one move, read one article, send one email, say no to one distraction? Open your eyes. That move, you can do it today. This isn't about faking it till you make it. It's about deciding you're done playing small. Let's try something else. Say this out loud with me. Come on. I want to hear you. I am worth it. Louder. I am worth it. Feel that. That's not just words. That's a signal to your brain that you're ready to act bigger. Maybe it's researching an investment instead of saying, I can't afford it. Maybe it's walking into a room like you belong there. Small steps, massive impact. You don't need permission. You don't need a windfall. You need the guts to say, I'm starting today. Because here's the secret. The moment you start acting like a millionaire, you're not just pretending, you're becoming. You're telling the world and yourself, you're serious. And the world, it listens. It opens doors. It sends opportunities. But only if you show up first. So where do you start? It's not about a big leap. It's about the next step. Think about one tiny action you can take today to act as if. Maybe it's writing down a goal like it's already yours. Maybe it's saying no to something that drags you down. Whatever it is, do it with intention. Because every time you choose to act like you're worth it, you're building the life you want, one decision at a time. And trust me, those decisions, they're about to stack up into something bigger than you can imagine. How many hours did you spend last week doing something you barely remember? Be honest. Raise your hand if you've ever lost a whole evening to mindless scrolling, binge watching, or just nothing. Look around, those hands are up, because we've all been there. Now here's the kicker. Millionaires don't do that. They treat time like it's their most precious asset, because it is. If you want to act as if you're a millionaire, you've got to stop treating your hours like spare change and start spending them like they're gold. Let's talk straight. You've already decided you're worth it, you're ready to show up bigger, bolder, like we talked about. But here's where it gets real. Your time is the currency of your future. Every minute you waste is a minute you're not building the life you want. Millionaires get this. They don't have more hours in a day than you do. Nobody does. What they have is discipline. They say no to distractions and yes to what moves the needle. Think about it. While most people are flipping through channels, they're reading, planning, or making one call that changes everything. That's not luck. That's a choice. Let me tell you about Jake. He was a warehouse worker, exhausted after 10-hour shifts, feeling like he had no time to chase anything bigger. Sound familiar? He'd crash on the couch, zone out with a beer, and tell himself, I'll figure it out tomorrow. But one day, he got fed up. He looked at his life and asked, where am I spending my time? He realized he was giving hours to habits that kept him stuck. So he made a shift, small but deliberate. He carved out 30 minutes a night. No excuses. Instead of zoning out, he started learning about real estate. Just 30 minutes. 6 months later, he'd saved enough for a down payment on a rental property. Today, he's got 3 properties and a side income that's outpacing his old paycheck. Jake didn't find extra time. He made it. What could you do with 30 minutes a day? Shout it out. Come on. I want to hear one idea. That's right. Keep those answers coming. Here's the truth. You're already spending your time somewhere. The question is, are you investing it or burning it? Most people don't even realize they're choosing the second one. They say, I'm too busy, but busy doing what? Complaining? Waiting? Millionaires don't wait for perfect timing. They act now. They know every hour is a chance to get closer to their goals. And you've got the same 24 hours. So why not start acting like those hours are building your empire? Let's do something together. I want you to think about yesterday. What did you do with it? Don't overthink it, just ballpark it. How much time went to things that actually matter to you? Now raise your hand if you spent even 1 hour on something you regret, like arguing with someone who doesn't get it, or refreshing an app for no reason. I see you, and I'm not judging, because I've been there too. But here's the wake-up call. That hour, it's gone. You can't get it back, but you can decide what you do with the next one. That's where millionaires live, in the next choice. Try this. For one day, track your time. Write down what you do every hour. Don't cheat. Be brutally honest. You'll see exactly where your currency is going. Maybe you're giving too much to a job that's draining you. Maybe you're saying yes to people who don't respect your goals. When Jake did this, he found he was losing 2 hours a night to TV he didn't even like. He cut it out, cold turkey, and replaced it with something that lit him up. You don't have to go that extreme, but you do have to get intentional. Pick one low-value habit, something that's not serving you, and swap it for one thing that moves you forward. Maybe it's listening to a podcast while you commute. Maybe it's writing down 3 ideas for your side hustle. Small swaps compound. They turn minutes into momentum. Now don't get me wrong. This isn't about working yourself to death. Millionaires rest, too. They recharge so they can show up sharp. But they don't confuse rest with wasting time. Rest is intentional, scrolling for 3 hours. Because your board isn't. Be real with yourself. Are you resting, or are you hiding? If you're hiding, it's time to step up. You're not too tired to act as if, you're too tired because you're not acting as if. When you start spending your time like it's worth millions, you'll feel energy you didn't know you had. Here's what I want you to take away. Your time is your power. Millionaires don't have a secret clock. They just spend their hours like they're building something unstoppable. You can do that, starting today. Pick one thing, one tiny action, that feels like something a millionaire would do with their time. Maybe it's saying no to a distraction. Maybe it's setting a timer for 20 minutes to focus on a goal. Whatever it is, do it like it's non-negotiable. Because when you start treating your time like currency, you're not just acting as if, you're laying the foundation for the life you're meant to live. And trust me, that life, it's waiting for you to show up and claim it with every second you've got. What's the first thing you say to yourself when you miss a chance? Maybe a job, a deal, or even a conversation you didn't jump into. Raise your hand if you've ever muttered, "I'm not ready," or "I can't do that." I see those hands and I get it. We've all been there. But here's the truth. The way you talk to yourself is either building your future or tearing it down. If you want to act like a millionaire, you've got to start speaking like one, starting now. You've already taken charge of your time, treating it like gold. The next step? Use your words like they're paving the road to your empire. Millionaires don't waste breath on doubt. They don't say, "I can't afford it," or "I'm not good enough." They ask, "How can I make this happen?" It's not arrogance, it's intention. Your words shape your reality. Think about it. When you say, "I'll never get ahead," you're slamming the door on possibility. But when you say, "I'm figuring this out," you're opening it. That's the shift we're talking about. It's not about lying to yourself or pretending everything's perfect. It's about speaking like you believe you're going somewhere big, because you are. Let me tell you about Maria. She was a receptionist, barely making ends meet, always telling herself, "I'm just not a leader." She'd shrink in meetings, convinced her ideas didn't matter. One day she got tired of feeling invisible. She decided to try something different. Instead of saying, "I don't know enough," she started asking questions in those meetings. Good ones, like, "What if we tried this approach?" At first, but she kept going, speaking like she belonged at the table. Within months, her boss noticed. She got pulled into a project that led to a promotion and a raise she never would have asked for before. Maria didn't wait for confidence to speak up. She spoke up, and the confidence followed. What's one thing you're telling yourself you can't do? Shout it out. Come on, I want to hear it. Now, what if you flip that to "I'm working on it"? Feel the difference? Your brain listens to every word you say. It's like a loyal dog. It follows your commands. Tell it you're stuck, and it'll keep you there. Tell it you're capable, and it'll start finding proof. This isn't fluffy nonsense. It's how your mind works. When you speak like you've already made it, you're training yourself to act bolder, think bigger, attract better. Millionaires know this. They talk about opportunities, not obstacles. They say, "When, not if." And you can start doing that today. It's free, it's simple, and it's powerful. Let's try something together. I want you to say this out loud. Don't whisper, own it. I am building my future, one step at a time. Come on, louder. I am building my future, one step at a time. Did you feel that shift? That's not just a phrase. It's a signal to your brain that you're serious. It's you stepping into the driver's seat. Now let's make it real. Think about one area where you're holding back. Maybe it's asking for a raise, pitching an idea, or even saying no to someone who's wasting your energy. How would a millionaire say it? They'd be clear, direct, unapologetic. They'd say, "This is what I'm worth," or "This isn't a fit for me." Practice that. Say it like you mean it, even if it's just to the mirror for now. Don't get me wrong. This isn't about being fake or cocky. It's about owning your potential. Millionaires aren't perfect. They doubt themselves too. But they don't let doubt have the last word. They reframe it. Instead of "I'm scared," they say, "I'm learning." Instead of "I failed," they say, "I found what doesn't work." That's the language of someone who's going places. And you're going places, aren't you? Not if you're with me. Let's see those heads moving. Good. You're not here to shrink. You're here to grow. Here's a challenge for you. For the next 24 hours, catch yourself when you say something small, like, "I can't," or "I'm too busy." Flip it. Say, "I'll find a way," or "I'm making time for what matters." It'll feel weird at first. Maria's shook too. But every time you choose words that lift you up, you're rewiring your brain. You're telling the world, and yourself, you're not waiting for permission. You're acting like you've already made it. This is about momentum. You're already treating your time like currency, stacking up those intentional minutes. Now add words that match that energy. Speak like you're worth millions. And you'll start acting like it in ways you didn't expect. Doors will open, not because you're faking it, but because you're claiming it. So go out there and talk like the person you're becoming. Your future's listening, and it's ready to answer back with opportunities you can't even see yet. What's the last thing you spent money or time on that made you feel unstoppable? Raise your hand if it was something that leveled you up. A book, a course, maybe even a gym membership you actually used. Now keep that hand up if you hesitated before spending, thinking, Can I really afford? I see you. Those hands tell a story we all know. But here's the deal. Millionaires don't hesitate to invest in themselves. They know betting on their own growth is the fastest way to build the life they want. You're already speaking like you've made it, claiming your worth with every word. Now it's time to back that up by investing in yourself like a millionaire would, starting today. You've got momentum. You're treating your time like gold, choosing words that build your future. But momentum needs fuel, and that fuel is growth. Millionaires don't sit around waiting for someone to hand them success. They go get the skills, knowledge, and connections that make it happen. They see themselves as their best asset. Think about it. If you owned a business, you'd pour resources into making it better, right? You're your own business. Every dollar, every hour you spend on becoming sharper, stronger, smarter, that's an investment with a return you can't even calculate yet. Let me tell you about Alex. He was a delivery driver, barely scraping by, always saying, I can't afford to learn anything new. He'd look at online courses or networking events and think, that's for people with money. Sound familiar? But one day he got fed up with that excuse. He found a free podcast about entrepreneurship, just free stuff he could listen to on his routes. He started taking notes, applying one idea at a time. That led him to a cheap workshop, which he paid for by skipping takeout for a month. At that workshop, he met someone who became his business partner. 2 years later, Alex runs a small catering company pulling in 6 figures. He didn't start with cash. He started with a choice to value himself enough to learn. What's one thing you could learn that'd change your game? Shout it out, come on, I want to hear it. That's it, those ideas are your first step. Here's the truth. Investing in yourself isn't about having a big budget, it's about prioritizing growth over comfort. Millionaires get this. They'll buy a book before a flashy watch, hire a mentor before splurging on a vacation. Why? Because they know a sharper mind or a new skill pays dividends forever. Most people, though, they spend on stuff that feels good now, new shoes, another round at the bar, and then wonder why they're stuck. You're not most people. You're here to act as if, and that means choosing what builds your future over what distracts you from it. Let's break it down. Raise your hand if you've ever said, I can't afford to invest in myself. I see those hands, and I'm not here to judge. But let's flip that. You can't afford not to. Start small. Millionaires don't always drop thousands. They find what's accessible. Libraries are free. Podcasts are free. That coffee you buy twice a week, skip it once, and you've got $5 for a used book that could spark your next big idea. Alex didn't have extra cash lying around. He just decided his growth was worth more than another pizza. What's one thing you spend money on that you could trade for something that grows you? Not if you've got something in mind. Good, you're thinking like a millionaire already. Now let's talk time, because it's not just about money. Millionaires invest hours in themselves too. They're up early reading, or they're at a seminar while others are sleeping in. They know time spent learning compounds like money in a bank. Try this. Pick one thing to learn this week. Maybe it's how to negotiate better, or the basics of investing. Give it 20 minutes a day, less time than you'd spend watching a sitcom. Write down one takeaway each time. That's it. Small intentional steps. When Alex started, he wasn't aiming for a catering empire.
He just wanted to know more than he did yesterday.
That's the mindset. Grow a little every day, and soon you're someone nobody can ignore. Don't fall for the trap that you need to be ready first. Millionaires don't wait for perfect conditions. They start messy. They sign up for the class, even if they're nervous. They ask the dumb question because they'd rather look silly than stay ignorant. Let's do something together. Say this out loud. Really own it. I am my best investment. Louder. I am my best investment. Feel that? That's you reminding yourself you're worth betting on. Now make it real. Pick one action. Buy a book. Watch a free video. Reach out to someone who knows more than you. Do it like it's non-negotiable, because it is. Here's where it gets exciting. Every time you invest in yourself, you're not just gaining knowledge, you're building confidence. You're proving to yourself you're serious. That's what Maria did when she spoke up in meetings. What Jake did when he carved out time to learn. You're already doing it. Treating your time like currency. Speaking like you've made it. Investing in yourself is the next piece. And it's not about being selfish. It's about becoming someone who can give more to your family, your community, your dreams. Millionaires know their growth lifts everyone around them. Yours will too. So what's it gonna be? You've got everything you need to start. 1 hour, $1, one decision. Don't wait for a windfall or a promotion. Act like a millionaire by betting on yourself right now. Pick one way to grow, big or small, and do it today. Because when you start investing in yourself, you're not just acting as if you're building a life that's bigger, bolder, and more yours than you ever thought possible. And that life, it's waiting for you to show up with everything you've got.